Hello YouTube, we're on the Real Programming channel. I'm its host. My name is Andrei. I greet you, welcome. This is our 10th lesson. It's about HTML and PHP MySqL. And we'll talk about create a MySqL database and a table. Okay, let's go talk about this. And some MySqL installations already include a database. If yours doesn't, you'll need to create one using the CREATE DATABASE SQL command in the MySqL terminal. But first you need to open the MySqL terminal in a command line window. Just type in MySqL will often work. You will know you successfully entered the terminal when the command prompt changes to MySqL. Like this. Not this, like this. A command like MySqL. Okay. And the MySqL server usually responds to let you know that a command was successful. When you use the terminal, you must put a semicolon after each command. Before you can create the table inside the database, you need to make sure you got our new database selected. Enter the command use ln database. The SQL code to create a table is a little more involved, since it has to spell out exactly what kind of data's being stored. Let's take a look at the SQL command before entering it into the terminal. This is an SQL command that creates a new table. All the other stuff is detailed information about what kind of data can be stored in the table. All SQL commands entered into the MySqL terminal must end with a semicolon. To actually create the new table, type the begcreateTable command into the MySqL terminal. You can find the code of the command on the web at www.headfirstLabs.com/books/hfphp. And don't forget, you will find all the content materials of this lesson under this video in the description link to Google Drive. And after successfully entering this command, you will have a shiny new aliens abduction table. This table. The query org response from the MySqL server lets you know the table was created without any problems. Your MySqL installation may after the PHP web-based tool, which lets you access your database and tables graphically. You can use the PHP user interface to click your way to the creation of database and table, or enter SQL commands directly, just as if you're in the MySqL terminal. Click the SQL tab in a PHP to access the text box that acts like the MySqL terminal. So, the SQL tab of the PHP application provides a way to issue SQL commands just as if you were using the MySqL terminal. Okay, I've got a MySqL database and table. Now how do I put data into them? You use the SQL insert statement to insert date into a table. The SQL language provides all kinds of cool statements for interaction with database. One of the more commonly used statements is insert, which does the work of storing date in a table. Take a look at the statement below to see how the insert works. Keep in your mind that this statement isn't an actual SQL statement. It's a template of a statement to show you the general format of insert. Okay, the SQL keywords insert into begin the statement. The name of the table, in Owen's case, it will be aliens abduction. This next part is a list of your database column names separated by commas. More column names follow with a comma after the last one. Mark what that values follow with a comma after the last one. The single quotes are correct. Use them whenever you're inserting text, even if it's a single character like M or F. This next part is a list of the values to be inserted separated by commas. Important. There needs to be in the same order as the column names and other SQL. This is keywords. This one is signaling that the values for the columns follow. One of the most important things to note in this statement is that the values in the second set of parentheses have to be in the same order as the database column names. This is how the insert statement matches values to columns when it inserts the data. The insert statements in action. Here is how an insert statement can be used to store alien abduction date in Owen's new aliens abduction table. This is the name of the table the date to is being inserted into, not the name of the database. Your column names are in the first set of the parentheses and divided by commas. Okay, the values for each column are in the second of parentheses and also divided by commas. Unlike PHP statements, SQL statements don't end in a semicolon when used in the PHP code. All of these values contain text, not numbers, so we put single quotes around each one. Who's really the fun-looking alien here? And watch it. Other matters. The values to be inserted must be listed in exactly the same order as the column names. Sharpen your pencil exercise. The aliens abductions table is shown below, but it doesn't have any data yet. Write solid alien abduction date into the table. It's okay to write some of the data above the table and use rows if you don't have room. These are the column names. Okay, do you ready for solution? If not, take a pause. Let's go, continue. Exercise. So, as you can see, this is our solution. And green with text, thankless, we just talked about played with dog. I may have seen your dog, not me. Okay, next. There are no dumb questions. I'm not sure I understand if the difference between the database and a table. Don't they both just store data? Yes, table server as a way to divide up the data in a database into related groups, so that you don't just have any huge mess of data. It's sort of like the difference between toting a bunch of shoes into a huge box as opposed to first placing each pair in a smaller box. The big box is a database. The smaller shoe boxes are the tables. So data is stored in the tables and tables are stored in the database. What exactly is the MySqL terminal? How do I find it on my computer? This MySqL terminal is a technique for accessing a MySqL database server through the command line interface. In many cases, the MySqL terminal is not a unique program, but instead a connection you establish using the command line from a generic terminal program, such as the terminal application in Mac OS X. How you access the MySqL terminal varies widely depending on what operating system you are using and whether the MySQL server is local or remote, located somewhere other than your computer. Appendix IL has more details about how to go about accessing the MySQL terminals. What about PHP Where can I find that? Unlike the MySQL terminal, PHP is a web-based application that allows access to a MySQL database. It is actually a PHP application, which is why you always access it from a web server, as opposed to installing it as a local client application. Many web hosting companies after PHP as a part of their standard MySQL hosting plan. So it may already be installed for you, and if not, you can download it and install PHP yourself. It is available for free download from www.phpmyadmin.net. Just remember that it must be installed on web server and configured to have access to your MySQL database, just like any other PHP and MySQL application. I have both the MySQL terminal and my PHP MyAdmin available. Which one should I use to access my database? It's totally a personal preference. The upside to PHP MyAdmin is that you can explore your database and tables visually without having to enter SQL commands. That can be very handy once you get comfortable with the SQL and you don't want to manually enter commands for every little thing. However, for now, it's just a good idea to focus on really understanding how to interact with your MySQL data using SQL commands, in which case other tool works just fine. Okay, test drive and use select to get table data. We'll talk about this in the next lesson, and this is our 10th lesson about PHP, MySQL, HTML is end. Thanks for watching, subscribe to my channel, please, put like, share with friends, comment, meditate, do exercise, drink more water. That's all, thank you, bye.